Hi guys and welcome back. Let's continue where we left during our previous video. By now you guys know that how to open any given table or how to retrieve a specific column from any given table. For example, if you want to open employees table, you just write select star from the employees table. It is very crucial to have a good understanding of the basic. When you have a good understanding of basic, the rest becomes easy. There's certain things and tricks that you should know before we start going advanced. These are the things that you guys should know. For example, when I execute the query on the top, it shows me all the columns. Now, I might get into the situation that I do want to see all the columns, but I want this column to be in the first position, not the employee ID, but I want to see title in the first position. In that case, I will just select from employees table, and then I come back and I just say title, comma, and then asterisk or star. Now, when I execute this query, you will see that the title is coming first. You might get into the situation that this thing might be useful. Now, another thing that you guys should know, again, if I execute the query on the top, I might have a lot of columns here. And if you're new with the database, if you're new with SQL, it takes a couple weeks to memorize all the table names and employee all the columns inside each table. So when you're new, you can do the following in order not to get into any trouble on how to write the name of the table or how to write the name of the columns. What you can do is just select from, pick any given table, for example, products, and you can just put a space and let's give it a temporary name P, and then come back after select, put that P dot, and then as you see, now it is showing me all the columns inside products table. For example, now I can choose product name. If I want to see more columns, then I just say P dot, for example, unit price. Now if I write this query, now you see that it's showing me product name, unit price as what we did during our last video. You can have a temporary name for any given table, but if you don't want to have a temporary name, you can do the following. Select from products. Now in this case, in the previous case, as you see, I gave it a temporary name P, but in this case, I don't want to give it a temporary name P. Then in that case, I would just type again the name of the table, dot, and as you see, now it displays all the columns inside that particular table. Now I can choose any table from this given table. Guys, if you are new, one more time, with SQL or working with databases in general, this is something that I highly suggest you to do. A lot of time people just write the name of the columns and then from and then the name of the table. For example, like in this particular case, if I want to write this query, but I want to write it in a way that select title from employees. Now if I start typing title, you see it doesn't show me the title. It doesn't know where I want to select this particular column. That's why if you're new, always make sure that you choose the table name first. Why? Because once you have the table name, then select knows exactly from where to select. Now in this case, if I type U, you see it shows me the columns right away, which makes your life much easier when you put the table name first. Now, another scenario that you might face in a real life, as you see, right now I have two databases. One is Northwind, one is Success. In a real life, you might have more databases. You might have 10 databases, 5, 15 databases. So every time when you have a lot of databases, you have to make sure that you are writing your codes on the correct database. So how you can do that? One of the ways is you should always look at the drop down and make sure that you are writing your code on the correct database. This is one of the ways you should always look at the drop down here, which database you chose. The second one is on any given database, you can just do right click, and as you see here, I have this button here. If I click new query, it opens a new page, and as you see here, automatically it displays Northwind. So it is very important to know on which database you're writing your code. Now if I write any query right now, you will see that my query is getting executed against this particular database. Now you might also do the following. Let's say you can just select without from. Now in this case, even if you don't have a right database on the drop down, or you didn't choose any database yourself, you can just do select from. All you have to do, just type the name of the database. Now in this case, if you see here, my database is success. I just typed select from success, and you need to do the following: put 2 dots. The moment you put 2 dots, now it displays all the tables which I have inside success table. Now in this case, if I choose categories, and then if I want to see all the columns, I can do the following. Even though my database here is Northwind, but my code is getting executed against success database. So again, all you have to do, you just need to do, pick the name of the database first, which for example success, put 2 dots, and now you have all the columns for that given table. Now if I execute it, now you see this is getting executed against success database. Now one more way of choosing the database is you didn't choose any database. In that particular case, you can write a piece of code that chooses the database. For example, now if you see here, my database is again Northwind, but if I want to write my code against success database, all I have to do, just say use success and go. Now in this case, whenever I write my code, for example select star from employees, and when I execute this, it will execute it against this database, even though on the top I have Northwind. When I run it, now this is using success database. Another thing that you guys should know, not only with SQL, with any programming language, it is very important to write a comment. Now, if you see here right now, if I write the code select star from orders, if you're new with SQL, sometimes you write the code and you really don't know what was the code, or someone else wants to read the code that you wrote and they get confused. Now, sometimes you might need to make a comment on the queries or the codes that you wrote. Now, how you can do that? All you have to do, just put 2 dashes, and as you see here, the color changed. Now you can just say write a query that shows all the columns of orders table. Now in this case, you know that this particular query shows you this result. So commenting is very important, guys. Sometimes you may write a comment which is very long. It's more than 1 line. Now in that case, all you have to do, just put a /, and then put a star, and then you can put again one more star and close the forward slash. Now in this case, anything that you type in between, SQL will treat it as a comment. It will not execute your code. So these are something very basic that you guys should know if you're new with SQL. Along the way, once you learn SQL or any other programming language, you might to choose your own way of doing it. But for now, since you are new with SQL, it is very important to follow the following rules. Now, what is next? Up until now, if you guys noticed, is what we are doing, we're just opening any table, and that's about it. We're not doing anything crazy. But when you become a data analyst, when you start analyzing the data, sometimes from all of this result at the bottom, you have to be very specific about what you want to see and what you don't want to see. For example, you might get into the scenario where you want to see all the orders which has been placed and helped by the employee ID 6 and 3. Now, how you can do that? When you work with SQL, SQL gives you the ability to give a condition, meaning that you have to specify exactly what you want to see. Now, if I want to see only all the orders which has been helped and placed by the following employees, for example 6 and 9, this is what I will do. Select star from orders. Now SQL has multiple ways of giving a condition, conditional clauses. We will go through all of them, but for now we'll start with where. Now in this case, if I want to see only the orders which has been placed by employee ID 6 and 9, all I have to do just say where employee ID in, you open the parentheses, and you want to see, for example, 6 and 9. Now in this case, if I write this, execute this, you will see all these orders, order IDs. It has been placed by employee ID 6 or 9. This is all the orders. One of the way that you can give a condition to see what exactly you want to see, you can just put in and choose what exactly you want to see. There's a multiple ways of doing it. Another way of doing it, you can just do select star from orders. Then go to the bottom, just say where employee ID equals 6 or employee ID equals 9. These two query basically does the same thing. If I execute the one on the top, I get the same result, and if I execute the one on the bottom, I get the same result as well. Now, if you ask yourself which one I should choose, whenever you want to write a condition and in your condition you want to see a range, meaning that you want to see more than one row, more than one value, it is easy to use in operator and inside the parentheses put all the values or conditions that you want to see. But whenever you want to see only one, for example, if I want to see only employee ID 6, just use equal. So when you use equals operator, what does it mean? You are very specific on what exactly you want to see. Now when you use in operator, now it becomes plural form. You want to see multiple. Now it is totally up to you which one you choose, but this is something that you can do. Now when you execute, whenever you start giving a condition, now in this particular case, if you see here we have employee ID 6, 9, 9, 6, 9, they are not positioned in a right order. Sometimes you want to position them in the right order. Now how you can do that? For example, as you see right now, we are displaying employee ID 6 and 9, and that's what you see in the bottom. But you don't want to see them in the following order. You want to see all the 6 first and then 9. Then in that case, all you have to do, just to order by employee ID descending. Now in this case, what descending does, it starts from the higher number and goes to the lower number. Now as you see, 9999 and then becomes 6. Or if you start from the lower number, all you have to do, just say ascending. Now in this case, this is what ascending. For those of you guys who don't know what ascending and descending does, this is ascending, where for example 1 and then becomes 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 5, meaning that you start from the lower and it goes in a high and goes higher. And in the case of descending, this is descending, 5 and then 4 and then 3 and then 2 and then 1. So ascending order, one more time, it is starts from the lower number, goes higher, and then descending starts from higher number and goes to lower number. In the case of alphabetical order, guys, ascending order is starts from A, B, C, and descending order starts from the last letter of alphabet and goes to the beginning of the alphabet. So the moment you start analyzing the data, the moment you start working with databases a lot, this might be very useful in certain cases to order by certain way, ascending or descending. One quick trick to know is whenever you start working with the databases, just remember that no matter what type of code you write, order by comes always at the end. So again, so far you guys know that with order by, now you know order by function and you know where condition. Where condition gives you the ability to specify what exactly you want to see, because right now this is a lot of data, and sometimes in the real life the data could be much more than this. That's why in the you might get into the scenario where you have to see a specific value. In that case, where is your help? You can just put where condition. Now for example, if I want to see all the orders which has been shipped to, for example, let's say Madrid, all I have to do, just where, and whenever you put the condition, guys, make sure you choose in what column you want to put the condition. Now in this case, I want to put a condition in the ship city equals to this, Madrid. In the future classes, guys, I will show you how to put a condition in multiple columns, but for now, let's stick with one. Now, as you see here, if I scroll to the right, this is only Madrid, and it's all the orders which has been shipped to the Madrid. This is where condition. Guys, as I mentioned in our previous video, I decided to have not very long videos because it would be very hard to follow and understand it, especially if you're new with SQL and writing the code. However, please guys suggest me if you want to see a longer videos, then I will adjust it and make it as per your wish, guys. Thank you